This is strange because I'm doing something new where I'm picking a card out of this podcast deck that I have to give an answer to. So here's the thing is I don't know what's in the deck. So whatever I pick, I'm going to be talking about. I'll do these episodes, not every time, but I'll do them often. So let's see what today's is. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given? What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given? This one comes from my mom, right? So at this time, many people might not know I had got stabbed a good amount of years ago. It is 2000 and I think it was 2002. 2002. I got stabbed on my chest, my stomach, and my rib. So during this time, I really couldn't walk the way I wanted to. I couldn't do normal things for a while because of the injury. Now, I can put a link into me going about that whole story of getting stabbing that I have on my YouTube channel, but this one is about this card. And I remember one night I was sitting in the living room laying down, and I felt like this big wave of fear and depression just like presented itself to me. And in the way where I was literally just like I was shook. I didn't know what to do. I just felt like hopeless. I felt lost. And I had remembered this was me really getting into um understanding God and my relationship with God and things like that. And I had told God, if you're really real and you want me to serve you, I want you to have my mom wake up and come to me. This was probably around like 2 a.m. in the morning. I kid you not. It was about 10 seconds later. My mom gets up, walks to the bathroom, and then she comes into the living room. I don't know how she knew I was in there. I wasn't making any noise or anything like that, but she comes in and I just started crying. And I'm just like, I felt so scared. I felt that the guys would come back and retaliate. Long story short, um, me and my friends were mistakenly jumped for the wrong people when we found out we weren't the people that these guys were looking for. But by that time, they had already started the process of trying to kill us. So she says this, and it changed my life forever. It was small, simple, but I took it and I ran with it. She said, just think, because time won't stop moving. You won't be in the same exact place 3 months from now, 6 months from now. Figure out if you want to keep moving or not. And it wasn't one of those messages like just press through. It wasn't our good friend David Goggins. By the way, I love David Goggins. It wasn't one of those. It was more so that this might feel tough right now, and that's okay. Just decide if you want to keep moving. Make the decision if you want to keep getting up and if you want to keep just moving forward. The reason why that helped so much was there are tons of times in life where I know for me, I become overwhelmed with how much has to get done or how much hasn't gotten done or just maneuvering life in itself. I know you guys have probably been there as well. With that, sometimes you can just become like paralyzed, like they call it paralysis by analysis, having too much information, or you just feel like I don't have what it takes to go on. But remembering that one thing she told me, like the time is not going to stop, so you can decide if you want to move on or not. And of course, I moved on. Now let's just be honest. I haven't always done that advice. There have been times where I just let my fear um, just take over. Case in point, I wanted to go back to school for a long time, but I was so afraid that I was dumb. I was so afraid that it would be too hard, too expensive, that I just talked myself out of it and I didn't move forward. Now I'm moving forward, but before you see heroic Drew, there was a man who just had so much fear and lack of confidence that he didn't do that. Now, with this advice, the great thing is if you look at it like that, then you're going to change your perspective. I believe if you want to change your vision, you have to change first what you're looking at. If you're looking at a brick wall all day, you're not going to have a lot of vision. You got to put things in front of you that makes you say, hey, I want to move forward. I'm going to move forward. Back in the day, we used to do this in our day. The younger kids don't probably do this anymore. But when we wanted something, we would put it in front of us all the time, like on a poster, on a mirror. I remember wanting this Avirex jacket. Now, back in the day, Avirex jackets were the junk. They were. I still want another one. They were amazing. They were thick. They were leather. They lasted long and they looked cool. And I remember me not being able to afford one. So I was in a Sunday school, a Bible study class, and my Bible study teacher was teaching about faith. Like, if you ask God for it, He'll give it to you. And I was like, so you mean to tell me if I ask God for Avirex, He's going to give me one? And they was like, if you believe, He'll do it. We're not going to go into like if that's good or bad theology, but let me tell you. What I did was I said, you know what? I'm going to believe this. I'm going to trust God. I'm going to ask God. So I asked God, and what I did was I went home and I cut in the magazine Avirex jackets. So I cut them up and I put them on a paper, and I posted the paper to my bathroom window to see it. And my mom saw it, and she got mad because I posted it there. But I was like, hey, I'm just doing what the Bible study teacher told me, which is if I want to ask Him for it, and I'm putting it in front of me. So I put it in front of me on there, and lo and behold, I kid you not, my mom had worked at a warehouse at JCPenney. She spotted an Avirex jacket. It was one of them. I kid you not. That warehouse like almost never had stuff like that because it would sell too fast, or they didn't have a bulk of it. She found a burgundy Avirex jacket, and I still could not afford it. So here I am. I'm like, God, you said by the Bible study teacher, if I asked, you would give it to me. Now I'm asking that you would give me the money to get this Avirex jacket. And I kid you not, within a week, maybe 2 weeks, they marked the jacket down so low. They marked the jacket down to $100, and they did it by mistake. But because they did it by mistake and we caught it, they couldn't go back and be like, hey, this is a $700 jacket. So we walked out, we got the Avirex jacket, and when I got it home, I put it on as if it was freezing outside, and I walked around my complex with my boys with it. Now let me just tell you that it was also July, so it was nowhere near cold at all. But I just felt that I would have that. I had that Avirex jacket. I got it, and I walked around with it. To wrap up that part, that's more so why we would put like posters and put things in front of us, and that coincides with moving forward. Sometimes you have to place the vision in front of you. Sometimes you have to make a visual representation of what it is that you're going after, because when you start making the decision to move forward, the enemy always makes the decision to try to stop you from moving forward. That's his job. Your job is to decide, hey, am I going to do this? Am I going to move forward, or am I going to stay in a place where I just don't do anything? I would love for you to just say, hey, I'm going to move forward. I know there's going to be barriers. I know there's going to be detours. I know there are going to be times where I have no motivation. There's going to be times where I'm tired, but I'm making the decision that I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to put some form of visual representation in front of me so that I can actually keep going. I want to partner with you, right? If you need help, go to my website, drewcost.com, book a consultation, and we can map out what this looks like for you. What does this look like for you? What would it feel like actually getting the things that you want because you're making the steps? Now, this is not me just saying just wish it and it's going to come, and just manifest it and it's going to come. That's not me saying that. This is me basically saying, hey, you may have to put a little bit of work into this, and that's perfectly fine. drewcost.com. I'm rooting for you. If you don't follow me already, I put a lot of information out on my social media platforms. Coach Drew Cost. Follow me there. Subscribe here. and let me know how we can keep helping you out with becoming great. Be good, guys. I'm out of here.